All right, so this is Sikriti Joshi, an educator, a teacher, a philosopher, a guide, a mentor, and a preacher. All right, so in today's session, basically, I will be covering Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, right? So, Bhagavad Gita is, as we all are aware, obviously, about that it's a Hindu scripture, right? That forms a part of the epic poem, which is Mahabharata, right? So, which comprises of 700 verses. 700 verses, can you imagine? And 18 chapters. It's a dialogue between Prince Arjun and the charioteer Krishna. So Krishna is the one who is the main uh, lord, who is governing, who is acting as the governor of the universe, of the battlefield, of of maintaining and of balancing things out, right? So so there's a dialogue between Prince Arjuna and his charioteer Krishna, who is an avatar of Vishnu, as we all are aware about, right? On the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So it happened in Kurukshetra. So the battlefield, we are going to discuss about the battlefield of Kurukshetra as well. All right. So the Gita explores themes of duty, responsibility, morality, spiritual growth, and offering insights into human nature and the path to self realization, right? So, we have been talking a lot about that how one should be performing one's duty. So, if I'm an educator or a guru or a teacher, right, or a philosopher or a guide or a mentor or a preacher, that's my duty, and I should be performing my duty well, right? I should be righteous. I should be virtuous. I should be having good morals and good ethics to conduct. How to conduct myself so that I become a kind of a role model for others, just like our Christian Ji is the role model for us, right? All right. So it also talks about morality, as I've spoken before. It talks about morality. It talks about duty. It talks about spiritual growth as well. So while reading, you will also embark on the journey of spiritual growth, right? All right. So, and it also offers insights into human nature. So that means we are also covering psychology over here. You know, the psyche of people, the psyche of people, how people think, how people ponder over what are the various directions in which they can think. So they can navigate. Through all those directions and what paths they can opt for or going for. So, and how do their neurons and the networking system works, basically. So, yeah. Uh, and the path to self-realization, and the path that that they have chosen, whether it's a righteous path or not, whether it's a wrong path. Even if it's a wrong path, they do get a chance in order to correct themselves, in order to be or come on the right track or on the right path, so that they can in the future avoid the kind of mistakes that they have been making for such a long period of time, for such a long passage of time. They can overcome all those mistakes, they can overcome all those errors. But sometimes it's the error or the mistake that they have made is at the cost of the lives of is at the cost of taking the lives of the people, which is or of you know raping, or of raping women, and of basically indulging in wrong mal practices. So which I just don't feel even like talking about. So they should be punished, they should definitely be punished. So then I would be talking about the key concepts, right? I would be talking about dharma. Basically in Hinduism it is dharma, right? In English we call it dharma. we call it Arjuna, we call it, Krishna, but it is Krishna, it is Arjun, it is Dharma, right? So I'm gonna be speaking about the key concepts. The first one is dharma, the second one is karma yoga, which is karma yoga in Hindi, or it's in Sanskrit, right? In and bhakti, and you know, and so on and so forth, right? Oh, we have Gyan, right? Jnana, you call it Jnana in English, but it is Gyan, right? Gyan. And yoga, that is yoga, right? So first and foremost, I'll be talking about dharma, which is following one's duty without attachment to outcomes. So when you follow your duty, when you are aware about your duty, when you're aware about your self, when you are aware about what is right, what is wrong, on which path you should tread, on which path you should not tread, and you should avoid that path because it would lead you to um, it would lead you to sell your soul. So you don't want to sell your soul, do you? You don't. You don't want to sell your soul, at least to the demon, at least to demons, right? So if you don't want to, if you don't feel like selling your soul to demons, at least come and do service for mankind, or do service for God, for humanity's sake. Indulge in services like going to temples, going to gurudwaras, going to mosques, but for a good cause, going to church, but for a good cause, not in order to exploit, or not in order to, kill people, innocent people. They have not done any harm to you, and no religion for that matter, teaches or preaches about killing one another. We all are brothers and sisters, and we should respect each other's dignity and integrity, instead of mob mentality of pulling each other down. And as an educator, because I'm an educator, so I know about this mentality, which still persists in adults too. As a professional, I have seen in my colleagues as well, that how this mob mentality persisted, and how jealousy takes its form, its shape, how it is formed, and how they're jealous, and of all types of politics exist, and how they don't want, they just want you to pull you down, and they want to be seen, um, by back by indulging in bad habits like back bitching and all that stuff. So and when you are born, and you go to school, or even if you don't go to school, you have this mentality. It's innate. I don't know, I'm not sure, but it's innate in some children, and it's innate in some people, that they have the habit, if they can't excel, they think that we will not let others also excel, we will not see others leading, or having a having a kind of a development, or having a kind of a progress, or we can't see them progressing, we can't see them developing, we can't see them doing better than us. Please stop this kind of perception. It's for nations, it's for individuals, because I have been into the profession, and I've seen, and even in my college, even in my school, I've witnessed all of this. I have been through all of it, right? And I know how nations work. I know how individuals work. I know how people think and perceive, and I know the psychology, because I have also been a psychology student at the same point of time. So I know how the psyche works, and how people, want to take advantage, and want to take the upper hand, and want to think that they're superior to others, that they want to basically excel, or proceed in the field and leave you behind. But why can't we? My question arises over here, that why can't we? My question, Sukriti Joshi, who is an educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, philosopher, preacher. My question over here arises, which is that why can't we all as nations develop and progress and make a progress as an earth, as a mother, or as Mother Earth belongs to us, right? We all are the inhabitants of Mother Earth. We all have taken a shelter, right, under the trees, under uh, 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 on its land. So we all have, you know, we all are the citizens of this globe. At the global stage, we all are citizens, and we all are merely, actors on this stage, which is global in nature. So if we all are merely actors and actresses, and the uh, world is a stage, then why we as performers have to perform in the wrong direction, or why do we have to go in for a wrong path? No, we should instead, every each and every nation, each and every individual should try to progress, instead of thinking that, oh, how should I, instead of planning and plotting against other nations, or planning and plotting against any individual that you don't like, or that you think that is superior to you, or that might be intellect more deserving, or talented, or more intellectual or beautiful than you, then you try to pull that person down, and then you try to break that person down psychologically, emotionally, physically, every way you try to do that. Don't do that. If you would be doing it, God, trust me, whether it is Shivji, Krishnji, Ma Saraswati, Ma Durga, Ma Lakshmi, Parvati Ma, Shakti Ma, Sita Ma, Par- Parvati Ma, as I've said, Shakti Ma, Durga Ma, and uh, Radha Ma, and Hanuman ji, and Guru Nanak ji, and Allah ji, and Jesus Christ weren't like that. Let me tell you that. No god or goddesses, no divine power, no cosmic power has told you to kill your brothers or sisters. Let me be very clear with this. किसी भी भगवान जी ने या जीसस क्राइस्ट ने, हमारे हिंदुइज्म हो या क्रिश्चियनिटी हो या इस्लाम का धर्म ही क्यों ना हो, अल्लाह ने अल्लाह जी ने कभी नहीं कहा है कि किसी का कत्लेआम ऐसे अपने ही भाई और बहनों का कत्लेआम करो आप, वो भी ये पूछ के कि तुम हिंदू और इतनी गंदी तरह से करो। ऐसा कभी नहीं चाहा। हिंदूस ने, हमने कभी पूछा अपने हिंदुस्तान में? हमने तो हिंदुस्तान कहने पे भी रोक लगाई जाती है कि हिंदुस्तान नहीं बोलना, हिंदुस्तान नहीं बोलना, भारत नहीं बोलना, भारत नहीं बोलना। क्यों नहीं बोलना? हमने पूछा है कभी कि कि तुम मुस्लिम हो या तुम ये हो या तुम क्रिश्चियन हो या कौन से धर्म के हो? हमने कभी क्वेश्चनिंग नहीं करी। इस हद तक तो हम सोच भी नहीं सकते यार, इस हद तक हम सोच भी नहीं सकते। फिर कैसे कोशिश कर ली, कैसे ऐसे दिमाग कैसे चला आप लोगों का? मैं अभी भी आप लोगों को आप लोग कह रही हूँ, जबकि मुझे ये नहीं कहना चाहिए। आपने कितना घिनौना काम किया है कि अल्लाह जी आपको कभी माफ नहीं कर पाएंगे और नहीं कर सकते हैं। कभी भी भगवान अल्लाह जी और जीसस क्राइस्ट ये नहीं चाहेंगे, या गुरु नानक जी, कि आप किसी का मारो पीटो कत्लेआम करो, वॉर करो। ये वॉर वगैरह आप लोगों ने आप लोग करना चाहते होंगे, लेकिन हम नहीं कर